Серйозно мусить поміркувати на рахунок цього драфту, тому що він може як покращити ситуацію, так і навпаки все зіпсувати. Можна Баратрума, наприклад, ласпікнути, який чомусь зовсім не пріоритизується цими колективами, хоча з іншої точки зору, звісно, це буде Баратрум в ШД, а ще з третьої точки зору, сьогодні Баратрум вже перемагав в ШД, і Праймалбіс вже перемагав в ШД, то я вже все, що завгодно готовий повірити. Але ось мої варіанти тобі такі, це Акс, це Легіонка, це Баратрум. Тайтхантера я ще називав, доволі класичного героя, якого завжди.
Питання. І що це? Це трійка Фенікс?
Це Меттью Баунті Хантер, кур'єри.
100%.
За кур'єрів я починаю хвилюватися. Фенікс офлейновий, я так розумію, Енчантрес 5.
Ну так, якось.
Якщо зараз не поставлять Енчантрес.
Так, всі.
Так. Фенікс офлейновий. Слухай, як мінімум цю гру буде цікаво подивитися, але я вважаю, що у SMG драфт набагато краще. Просто от я дивлюся на цих героїв, я не уявляю собі, як вони можуть програти в доту знизу.
Не знаю.
Зверху цього разу збірна якась селянки, тобто кожен герой непоганий і мені подобаються, але разом я їх собі не можу скомбінувати, не бачу цих потужних ліній гарних, які були на попередній мапі, не бачу цього тиску, не бачу цього кора надійного, який був у вигляді Пашки, тому я тут віддам перевагу SMG, і ми з тобою подивимося 3 мапи з задоволенням.
З величезним задоволенням, друзі, тому що International – це велике свято доти, фактично, і останні мапи от сьогоднішнього дня, тобто попереднього, тому що сьогодні теж матчі будуть продовжуватися, але в 8-й вечора. Тим не менш, з розкладом ознайомимося пізніше. А поки давайте дивитися другу мапу. У нас Best of 3 серії. Нагадаю, що це перегравання між командою Evil Geniuses та Team SMG за право залишитися на цьому інті, на власні очі побачити. А можливо і ні, до речі. Мейн-івент. Тим не менш, давайте передавати слово нашим коментаторам. Там Друг та Аелніс вже зачекалися на вас.
Так, дійсно, друзі, доброї ночі, я вже радий. Доброго ранку всім шанувальникам кіберспорту. З вами студія Майнкаст. Ми продовжуємо перегляд перегравань в групі А SMG проти Evil Geniuses. І дійсно, Bounty Hunter, Дмитро, така ще одна сигнатурка для Меттью. Ми бачили вже Нікса першу на турнірі, теж така сигнатурний персонаж для Меттью. І БХ теж перший на турнірі, теж для Меттью.
Клас.
Як тобі драфти цього разу?
Розбавляє. Я розумію, про що казав Костянтин, що тут праворуч, правда, сильний, зрозумілий драфт. Ліворуч окремо сильні, але як стакнуться, є питання. Тим не менш, я пригадую минулу мапу. Там же все почалося з лінії. Там на лінії просто показ отримав занадто багато ресурсів, і згодом його просто не було чим зупиняти. Що зараз заважає ЄГ так само застомпити з лайнів. Для мене велике питання, яким вийде з мідлейну No One, чи зможе він дійсно обіграти кунку, бо по суті, Шейкер дуже сильний лейнер, особливо проти мілічників, чи зможе він розігнати, чи зможуть вони виграти час для Моєрти в цілому, але я не знаю, я не можу, от як Костянтину так по драфтах сказати, що там сильніше в SMG, тому виграють SMG. Я не певен, що SMG взагалі на цьому турнірі на щось спроможні.
Мапу вони вже забирали у Evil Geniuses, чесно кажучи, і теж мені не особливо зрозуміло, як має працювати драфт ЄГ. Тобто...
всі забирали мапу в Evil Geniuses,
да? Це зрозуміло, а тут якщо забереш 2 поспіль, то можна і якби далі на турнірі грати. Тому тут все з дрібниць складається.
Справді, Evil Geniuses.
Able to do with it as well. SMG aren't out of it just yet, but we need this experience to shine in this game for them.
Indeed, and I mean, SA, they're doing it for the pride of the region. We had a few surprises come through. Thunder really taking it to a lot of teams. Unfortunately, eliminated already. Keatstars, they're through. They're going to be part of the playoffs moving forward. And so you get some Brazilian Dota representation coming through. Beast Coast unfortunately eliminated, so EG want to make sure that Keatstars aren't the lone SA team, and we know how much of a deep lower bracket run EG is capable of.
Feel free to start killing before that. We're not stickers.
He's trying to scout some wards. I think he just got too close, in fact.
No, he wanted to be able to scout out the observer ward. Still saw him, one on the left.
Did it? Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. I thought he was positioned a little bit more to the left. So we'll have rid of the observer, but nothing is going to happen as of it. Looks like we'll get a 2 for 2. Bit sneaky positioning from Matthew. In fact, he's going to yoink the bounty in front of mid one. So
Sure,
yeah,
why
3
not?
bounties instead.
I mean, if you ever want a crash course in how to annoy people, just watch Matthew Bounty Hunter replays. He just does so much. And of course, it's one of these position 4s that have the potential to, somewhat scale into the later stages, right? Like if you go, it's a bearing, you might choose to go down the Aghanim Scepter route. We've seen bounties go like a 5-3 instead, just for a little bit of an extra movement speed slow, allow them to stay out on the map. Or you can even just build like, Solar Crest and buff up the likes of your CK.
We've spoken a lot about this Conquer and potential heroes to address in the mid lane. We've seen OD from Somnus have a great showing. What do we feel about the Earthshaker for no one here?
Feels pretty good, honestly. Like one of the big strengths of the Conqueror is that you outlast hit a lot of people, and Earthshaker certainly isn't one of them with the enchant totem aspect. The big difference maker that I'm really seeing is that you're just able to make so much more consistent plays as the Conqueror relative to the Earthshaker, right? Like you're always a threat. It's basically only relying on the Tidebringer, and you don't even need to fully commit the body, or just actively building into stats as opposed to something like the Blink Dagger.
Very intrigued as well on how mid one's going to be able to get off to a good start here with Muerta. Has been very hot and cold so far through the road to the international. What do we think as a whole of this hero? Because again, we've seen teams like Shopify have a lot of priority on it with first picking in general in the draft. We've seen likes of FY having incredible games with a position for Muerta, but do we feel like mid one is set up for success with this hero this game?
Not necessarily, right? Like, actually, they're going to make a bit of a play here onto the bounty.
Should be able to get a kill as well. Mid one's hunting very deep for it. Doesn't look for the dead shot. Gonna try and go for the Phoenix, but there's a lot of resources expended between either side.
Mm-hmm. Will also result in them not securing too many last hits as well. Was all happening underneath the tower. One of the bonuses of having advantage, right? You do end up pushing a map, you might end up dying.
You've just achieved first
I
blood.
don't know, genuine.
Thanks and
Off
have
the
fun.
cell with the Wave of Terror. I thought I maybe heard a sound cube regardless. Able to find the kill with the sentry drop. Nicely done. And his first blood for mid one. And now the wave should be able to bounce back into SMG's favor, especially with this hard camp pull coming through from Genuine.
I mean, I really like the Muerta, just to pick up on your previous point there, but I like it much more against agi carries relative to strength carries, right? Because that's really the one where you expect it to shine. You're nullifying a lot of the agi heroes' impact, which is through having a lot of armor, so you're very survivable. Strength heroes are just pure HP, and the Pierce the Veil doesn't give you as much of that increased value.
We do see how that strength hero is shaping up here for Bakaz, which we saw earlier today. Had a decent showing overall, but wasn't able to get them over the finish line with this Chaos Knight. Might be able to put some damage into Arfu, but ducks into the trees. No Chaos Bolt there for the CK.
They do have one central ward still for this latest. They're going to die mid one.
And they're going to be rewarded off the back of that. Matthew's going to give Whisper a little tip. Level 3 now here for the Phoenix. Wonder what the item build's going to be for him. We've seen, maybe some offlane Phoenixes are considering something like a Midas, being able to get those levels and scale into the late game. He has Urn currently queued up. What would you hope for the item progression from Whisper?
I think you can go into something like the Vessel, maybe, just a classic Tranquil Boots, Magic Wand. But then after that, it really does open up a little bit. Maybe he chooses to go into the Cyber Pies, maybe...
Bottom lane? These poisons are really starting to stack up because gets a little bit of life back. MC will still cutting down. Panda's taking a full creep wave.
Yeah.
MC's still not even going to hope for the attempt to be able to kill Panda. He'll backs on up. They're happy with the trade they got.
It's actually changing things up a little bit on Whisper, going for the Veil of Discord instead. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, it's spell damage, not magic damage. It's another team fight.
Of action, Genuel. Probably going to go down. Whisper finds a dive, so the slow's going to be there for mid one. If you line these fans, Fire Spirits, we do see how much it's able to mitigate some of the Muerta's damage, so a kill for them up top, and there are some more Urn charges now for Whisper.
Very nice way to be able to start things off. And so, yeah, what I was mentioning before, that spell damage for a Kunkka means that you're amping up that Tiebringer, feels very effective. It's just amping up yourself, provides you a lot of that mana regeneration just to be able to stay out on the map, even with Phoenix using majority HP to be able to make a lot of stuff happen. But again, it's a great value Sunray game against Centaur, but also just enabling your... Is Midland going to die again up here? No. Maybe?
Yeah, he is. Dude, Whisper, what oh my god, man. He is one of the most frustrating offlaners it must be to play into. The plays this guy can make on a hero, like, we don't see Phoenix offlane a lot, but he's 3-0.
And we don't see a level 5 Phoenix at 5 minutes too much either. This is not the start that you want to give. Just one of those heroes that gets so much value off of levels. You don't really need too many items. It's just all about the levels to be able to make that big impact happen.
So we'll be able to get a return kill onto Matthew. 1-for-1 exchange. Fortunate mid one doesn't get the kills because we really need his gold to continue to ramp up here with that Midas already queued up.
Have a gold start before it ramps up. He hasn't had the greatest start in a lot of the games that we've been seeing so far, unless the matchup in the lane was really favorable. Bottom side of cars, potentially getting a little bit of action onto him, but just being able to dodge out that stun. One of the advantages, of course, of playing the CK is that movement speed that you've got.
I mean, this is scary that they're already highlighting the fact that Picard's can play solo in this lane and Panda can rotate. It looks like he's going to come back through the portal. There's always that risk of a secondary support to be with mid one.
He's going to feed him over a tango, and then you even need to stick around. I'm sure Panda's just going to be annoying and, you know, play that sort of aggressive role that I was wanting to see out of Jao last time. Here we go.
See. Goal to the rotation from C Small. Both come crashing down. Evil Geniuses are continuing on with that momentum in the previous game. They are looking good to start game 2.
Man, look down at this bottom side. Like, it's the perfect time for that rotation, right at the 6.5 minute mark, when you've still got the Siege creep alive, when you've got an Enchantress with one of the better value creeps in the wild with Ripper, just to keep the creep wave alive for the longer period of time. And you know that Arfu is not going to be there to just consistently save and soak up a lot of that XP. He needs to be back there securing the Wisdom Rune for himself. And luckily for him, it's not going to be Matthew standing next to him and stunning him up and stealing it away. He just ends up getting his own, but it's still a lot of damage being done onto a tier 1 tower this early.
It's going to continue to be a concern, the fact that C-Smile can make these easy transitions to the side lanes compared to no one on the Earthshaker. Like, he needs his Blink Dagger. Maybe if you get a haste, you might move. Without that, you're not going to be looking at it. And even Radiant supports have the capability to be able to secure these runes as well. And, well, they're currently top lane, putting some pressure onto mid one. We're already got a movement through the portal, so mid one's going to be very cautious position. They can dive the tower thanks to the Wildwing Ripper. And if required, they're going to supernova as well to drop. They're just going to turn and try and kill the egg, but they're both going to die in the end. It will not matter. This is already at a very scary territory for the boys from Southeast Asia.
Yeah, and this is what the Enchantress is capable of. This is why you pick it, to make these sorts of aggressive plays. And, you know, I suppose having a hero like the Chaos Knight to be able to pair together with, you are one of the more self-sustaining heroes for the laning stage. But, you know, once this movement happens, once the Centaur has his level 6 and his Vanguard, he just doesn't see the value sticking on that bottom side. There's no siege creep to be able to play around with, so you're not going to lose your tower anytime soon, and you end up being able to take away the enemies. So it's already a 4K lead at 8.5 minutes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
How do you make plays when you're behind as well on SMG? You do not have supports to do that. They need levels, they need ways to keep up. We haven't seen too many stacks in the jungle from Arfu, a couple of Ancients, but I mean, maybe no one will drop Echo to farm his Blink with it, but how are you...
It's just the little things, honestly. Like with Arfu, when he was securing that Wisdom Rune previously, he could have stacked the Ancient camp to the very right-hand side of the map, and he didn't. You know, it's clear that EGF got him flustered. He doesn't end up getting another stack off of the Ancients just there, even though he tries to. And he's, you know, he's almost level 5, so he's approaching that level 6. But the big thing that I'm seeing is lacking is another gank attempt.
It's going to be the timing on the perfect there from Arfu. Mitigate some of the effectiveness out of C-Smile's ultimate, but it will not stop them from getting Januel. They might not be done, dude. Matthew's going to be able to charge on forward for Arfu. They'll TP in MC, but can they get the turnaround? It's a big Echo Slam, but all they get is a bounty. Now MC will even turn to see Smile. A straight vision from downtown. They'll need the damage from the Muerto to maybe even get more as well. But the calling drop all the silence. Mid-one actually dragged back to Phoenix. These are the kills that they need from SMG to get back into this second game. That is a much-needed rotation from the offlaner and the carry.
Highest bottom tower. Don't
Just like that, they're back into it. Maybe just getting a little bit too confident, right? Like, it's pre-10 minutes, diving almost a tier 2 tower. Matthew ends up going down to be able to start things off, and it looks like he's going to be able to secure the haste before he gets ganked with that Dust of Appearance, but yeah, maybe just getting a little bit too deep there, and suddenly you've got a bit of a game on mind control, right? He's all the way up to second on net worth off the back of that.
Might be dead though. Mind control.
He almost tried to get down, but nah, not going to be the case.
Kaz hasn't been getting too active across the map, and as a result, with all his farm, top of the net worth, 5,400, armlet completed, and the mid-siege will continue with the catapult, along with the Dark Troll Summoner. Still lacking these ultimates to be able to play with now on SMG because of the use prior. His tower should go down without a defense.
The boys coming out, the Skelly boys, just allowing them to take so much of this map control so early. Kaz even just using his Phantasm Illusion to put a little bit of that pressure down on the bottom side. Might actually be using it to scout out if there are any stacks inside of the Dire Ancients area. Looks like he might be just trying to influence the wave a little bit. That full damage to the next creep wave. And this is how a player like the Kaz just accelerates his farm so much, is a little bit of a hunt going on, or it might just be a scouting mission from Matthew.
So they do have Genuine in a decent position. Looks like they'll just go for the Vengeful Spirit instead. Be able to land some of the track kills. They're actually going to try and Stampede to protect him, so they are starting to move on over. A smoke with Arfu and no one. Blink has been delivered. You need a juicy kill than Panda. That is not enough to reveal this Blink. Great positioning though from the Enchantress. They might just have to go for it. Yeah, they will. A couple of Enchant Totems will secure the kill. He's going to make him work for it, but won't actually stand too long without only 1 point in the Nature's Attendance.
And 0 in the Untouchable as well. That's the thing that ended up making sure that he wasn't able to survive through all of that. So still, you do your job though, right? Blink reveal onto a position 5, not exactly the situation that you're wanting. Talking positives, mid-one, he's been able to get the Midas picked up and he's working towards that Maelstrom. I'm just concerned of who is going to be taking this big Ancient stack, right?
Matthew? But he's so fast. Phase between lanes with the track.
Yep.
He's out. Bottom lane, MC. He's going to potentially go down. Bakaz has dived incredibly deep for it, and no one might have to drop the Echo Slam for the kill, and will do so. Starting to move down, though, from Evil Geniuses.
Picking out this gigantic stack as well, and what better hero to take it than the Kunkka? I believe he's got the Blade Mail coming out to him as well, so very, very keen to start this fight happening. And again, without the Echo Slam available, without the Maelstrom up on the Muerta, you are very vulnerable to losing this one. Looks like Panda's even going to place down a Sentry Ward to stop the stack from happening, but you want to invade, you want to steal this one away. You've got all your spells available.
Yeah, to go back to the Muerta real quick, like you said, with the Midas completed. First Midas we've seen out of Muerta so far at the road to the International. So, yeah, this is a bad situation, calls for the recovery Midas, and we'll see if he's going to be able to get that time, but someone needs to get this stack.
Mm-hmm. It looks like no one at MC are going to do it. It's not going to be the most efficient, but yeah, they'll get it in due time. I mean, MC is really tanky with that Vanguard. Double Edge just 3.5 seconds to cool down. And Matthew's going to be like, thank you very much, I'll take some of that XP.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It heals.
Coming though.
They love this courier snipe.
Hey,
Versus the Conquer, a little bit too far. Wisdom
They
Room
still get
too.
the tower off the back of it. Yeah, the Wisdom Rune, they're going to be looking to set up.
They cannot fight. They don't have the health pool. Not in a close area like this. You've got the Supernova already. This is going to be messy. MC will get the job. Wisdom Rune's picked up. A pretty good timing out of the banishment. Now the Stampede to reposition with the backline. No one. He gets swapped in the middle. And now you've got to address the Supernova, and they will not be able to run away from it. That is the messy fight that happens when you take a fight In a close proximity area like that, an evil genius is fighting 3 for nothing.
Dire's bottom tower's under
5, 1, and 4 on this Phoenix, and it's looking like another great game coming through from Whisper. That's not even talking about C-Spile. He's been relatively passive this game, just 1, 1, and 3, but I mean, he's just been picking up his farm, doing just classic C-Spile stuff, getting into the Blade Mail, and he's already felt kind of unkillable, and it's only going to get even stronger once you get that full 4th point into the Sunray.
You're going to have a super rich Enchantress who has a Dragon Lance now completed. You're going to have Matthew's Bounty Hunter that can itemize into utility. What do you even want out of the bounty this game? I mean, you can go anything. What are you hoping the bounty is opting for?
I wouldn't hate a Solar Crest, personally. I think because he's committed towards the phase boots, you probably don't want to go the drums just because it's not as easy to be able to convert it into the boots of bearing. I just want something that's going to give him a bit of that passive regen when he's roaming around the map, right? So that he liked the Parvis, but against this lineup, not sure it's going to be the greatest value.
A lot of options here. Which is a nice thing about the bounty, especially when you're able to have 14 kills at 15 minutes in. Mid one. Vulnerable. I mean, Januar's in a decent position, actually going to run straight on top of mid one, so the swap. It's up to MC to be able to counter-initiate. It's a pretty decent hoof stomp. The Stampede will get some separation because we'll still rip apart MC, and now when no one's ready to go with the Echo, but EG doing such a good job to make sure they don't group up for any opportunity of a turnaround. So again, 2 heroes go down. I mean, you keep mid one alive, but you're still you're bleeding track kills over.
That's the bigger issue, right? Like, it's fine to even take... It's not fine to take even trades, excuse me, so it's just going to lead to things leading more and more in one team's favor, and right now, EG are not letting up. I can't recall the last time I've really seen them play too much on their side of the map. They've just taken away all of the space that SMG have to be able to farm. It's honestly getting to the point where mid one needs to just use a smoke to be able to get out to the other side of the map. But even just to have a look, it's in a pretty obvious spot, but this high ground ward above the Radiant Tier 1 bottom tower is going to reveal if he's just farming in that sort of area.
I mean, the vision game has just been exceptional. We see that very often. Matthew's playing his stylish jersey into the forward down towards the east side of the map. Afu already has used the banishment, so C-Smile's going to be able to commit the combo. Oz is on a killing spree. You've already seen some of the damage. Oh, top lane actually back there, no one in MC. They're in a lot of danger now with the wrap around Matthew. They're going to be able to clean up no one, and they're probably going to get mind control. Stampede's still down for another 5 seconds. No one is anywhere near the neighborhood to protect him. As Whisper, Matthew, and Panda are just cleaning up, and you've got C-Smile and Bakaz together on the opposite side. It's going to be a repeat of game 1.
It will, and I mean, like you said, those 2 cores are still just farming away. Both of them, I believe, already have the Reaver picked up in about the same speed so that they're going to be able to secure that Heart of Tarask. And again, they just have no answers on SMG to be able to deal with it. And it's the double impact as well, right? You've got a level 12 beat performance.
Oh my.
Illusion. More track gold.
Oh, this must be so frustrating. Playing 2 games like this, back to back, where you cannot get out on the map, where you have 0 counter playmaking potential. Wherever you run, you're under wards, you're on a bounty vision. See 3 heroes leaving the base, they smoke under the observer.
What can you do? What can you do?
Might get Whisper, very low, no one can get that vision. Be a huge kill, 5, 1, and 6. It's a big streak.
Just the fact that it's
Is it going to react for the egg?
Was
so. Big one for no one.
A lot of gold.
So, actually need to kill Matthew as well. Should be able to cancel that with a banishment. We'll get a secondary kill along with it. We'll get no one a little bit closer towards his scepter. MC close to the plate mail as well.
Very nice. I mean, he still does need to be the front line, and no one else really is able to stand there. Even like the supports on EG are somewhat capable of doing it, right? We've seen Matthew be the one leading the charge a lot of the time, and he's decided to go into that Aghanim Scepter for himself. And why not, right? He's already doing such a great job of, you know, getting a lot of those track kills for himself. Why not deal the damage as well and yoink away even more net worth from the enemy team?
That's a I haven't even noticed, but it's a full duration, pretty much sentry at the die triangle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just Small farm taking away the bank of mid one and SMG. There's your first heart. Second is now enough gold for Bakaz.
You know it's bad when mid one buys his own sentry ward to be able to get rid of it. That is his in the dire triangle. You know, it really does feel like there's been a little bit of a communication breakdown. At least for mid one, he's been able to get that Gossamer Cape, so really nice against the Conquer, even a little bit against the CK with that initial jump and damage output might enable him to get off the Pierce the Veil. It's going to be a long road back for him.
Yeah. Now no one showing top lane. There's going to be in a lot of danger as well. Whoa, nice, very nice blink. I mean, we see how they're setting up across the map. You've got Genuel, defensive support playing behind the Earthshaker. You got your second support playing behind mid one, and then MC, the maybe more survivable person around mid lane, just to potentially clear this wave and get out. So. Again, it's stall out and hope that the supports can just protect the cores whenever they get jumped, but EG, they've had enough. They're like, alright, time for Roche, let's get this objective, and let's just start 5-manning down some lanes.
Sure, why not? I mean, it's the safe play to make, right? They waited until it was down on the Radiant side. Instantly, as soon as Roshan went through that trinket, and they're not even going to wait the full duration. They're letting Bakaz and Seasmall be able to take it. They know that they're capable of taking out mid one, especially if he continues farming underneath this observer ward.
Dude, what a smoke play. A couple of people hitting Roche, and a couple of people smoking.
You can't hit this torment, man.
Silence again with the calling makes it a little bit awkward for the Phoenix. You want to commit now. Mid-one used the Pierce the Veil. They're going to swap it aggressively. Radiant are moving over, and you do not have mind control for this fight. So you'll lose the Wisdom. You're going to eventually lose that Tormentor along with the Tier 2 tower as well.
Mind control does have a TP if really needed to do it. Looks like they're feeling content enough, right? It's an 11k net worth lead, 21 minutes in. You don't need the Bounty Hunter. He's potentially there to be able to scout out mind control and possibly interrupt any TP that he has to be able to come back and help the rest of his team.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
I just choose the more selfish route.
Farm.
Only 500 gold away from the Ags on Bounty. Now there's even more damage output coming through. It's not like they were lacking it before, but you know, Panda on his Enchantress has the Sproink available. So multiple ways.
So we're gonna try into Matthew. Oh, that's young. Alright. We'll see Smile top, got a Stampede, 85 seconds without it. Now they're gonna hunt as well. Instant sweeping.
Feels so confident, right? Like he's got the Aegis for another 3.5 minutes. They've got pretty decent vision as well inside the SMG jungle, and they know that there's no way that they're going to be able to retreat. So suddenly the Supernova gets even more value. Whisper can just look to position himself on the front lines.
Dire's middle tower looks to be
really like this gem pickup though, nonetheless, from Arfu. I think it's just much required, necessary in the status of this game. So we'll get this ward
Dire's middle
to
tower
the eastern side Ancients. And of course, this T2 tower is going to go down uncontested. So that is nice though. The Lotus from MC. Also very much needed, but let's see what they're able to do. 14,000 net worth lead, continuing to grow. And you just stall out the Aegis. I mean, you still have it for another, pretty much 3 minutes. So it will be a lot of time where EG getting full map control.
Midone has a decent amount of damage now at this stage, right? He's level 15, he's got that talent picked up for himself. Only 2 levels behind Bakaz, despite the fact that he didn't have it on the laning stage. I mean, this is a ballsy play. You gotta risk it for the biscuit, man. You gotta make that sort of play to kind of scare him off, prevent him from playing the game he wants.
And they are cutting him off. Alright. Oh my god, what are those reactions? Because they're gonna go for Matthew now. This is a little bit closer to the Tier 1 tower. This is not the fight you're looking for. Because you should be able to stun up Arfu. Defensive swap. Because jumps over the top. As reactions, Arfu gets out of danger. So Januel with a track kill over. They are still hunting though. They see Arfu on the retreat. 5-second blink cooldown. A bit too close to the base. So all they'll get is the bench.
So no one's going into the BKB. I get it. He's got the Aghanim Scepter. I really wouldn't have hated to see it go something like a crit, just because I feel unless they get that jump and convincingly are in an advantageous spot at the start of a lot of these fights, a BKB isn't going to change anything. Like they've got enough sustain at this point on EG to be able to withstand a lot of that. I mean, double heart, Sunray, Enchantress heals as well. You got 4 staffs coming through. You've got additional movement speed from the track. If Bounty Hunter's the one that gets going on, not easy. And they're all fully smoked up behind Makars while he's still got a minute or so left on his Aegis.
I guess this is the one thing about Mid-Die, the potential to swap back inside the base is mind control. Protected with the banishment will be okay. So let's see how they can get crafty here. You know, swap into Fissure, maybe blow at 1, but you've got to go through 4,000 health of the cars.
Twice.
Muerta's not back just yet. That is your main damage source.
She's got the Mjolnir though.
Center just completed though. Chris Luck has this current storm now to work with.
A Moonshot, not a Mjolnir. That's actually pretty effective now. It's just moved into nighttime, so you've got a little bit of advanced vision on SMG to be able to make plays with. Clever little adaptation coming through there from mid one.
How much is going to be able to pay off with that extra attack speed? 16,000 deficit. 19% probability at the moment has been EG for the entirety of this game and series as a whole. So Aegis will tick out. They do see Bakaz at the moment. They did smoke prior. They will re-smoke as well. Maybe they can catch Bakaz as he's rejoining the team. They're going to be closer this time than last.
They're just keeping a track on that Aegis. They don't want to go too early, so they've got potential to blow him up.
They're going to see Bakaz with a jump over the top. Can they blow him up to 0? Aegis kicks, and they bring him down. An incredible start for the boys on SMG, but can they capitalize and get a better team fight out of it? As C smiles onto mid one and swap to get some separation, but it's not enough. Mid one will go down as EG just far too ahead. Even if they lose their carry, it does not matter in the end. As Whisper will burn MC down, it's going to try and disengage out to the left. It's already a TP and Matthew can cut him off. MC will not be able to TP out of this one. A 4-for-1. And I don't know if you're going to get a better team fight from that from SMG. It looked great to start. But the boys on EG are just way too far ahead.
Couldn't have been more perfect, honestly. And I mean, they've got the glyph left, and that's about it. And ending up being the one dishing out, a decent amount of damage. But it was, again, all the Phoenix. He just survived for the very start of that team fight, launches out all the fire spirits, and enables that turnaround. Without the BKB on the Muerta, you just don't have the potential to just stand there and man fight. You're always going to be affected by that attack speed slow.
And we've still got Echo. We love Panda. With him holding the team with a level swap back. I don't know if you're getting Conquering. Not with an Echo like that. Gets a little bit of damage out. Mid one's back into the middle. They have kind of separated C-Smile away from some of the defensive heroes, but Conquer just runs into the hero. C-Smile takes to it all. Again, this hero is absolutely ridiculous. And now Bakaz is back in. Dude, what is it? What is with this hero?
These Terrorblade vibes, man, just ban it. The C-Smile Conquer needs to be removed. And look at them, they're even taunting him a little bit. They're like grouping up saying, oh, you wish you could echo this right now. And yeah, they place down the flag, say this is our territory. We're the ones moving on to that phase 2.
Middle barracks are under attack. Middle barracks has fallen. Everyone's got a plan for you. Stars down their ranks has fallen. Radiant's top tower.
On last stand, it seems.
Oh my god, you've got to go up against Panda's damage as well. What can you do? Mid one's back up in fight with Pierce the Veil. Base is in shambles, soon to be mega creeps as well. EG are not looking to leave. Poke and poke. We're going up against a 4K hero, and with the damage from Panda, MC Dragback's just going to die to the impetus. Arfu has to protect it, but it means that there's no banishment for the Venge. No one gets a pretty good jump in with a stun onto 2, but now he's tracked up and down to half health. Back on to C-Smile. The one's going to be nearby. It's a decent chunk of damage. C-Smile will go down, gets the ball up from the Torrent Storm. It's going to give him at least some control to reposition back to the left side of EG.
They just don't have anything left, though. That's the thing. 20 seconds left until the Echo. No Pierce the Veil, no Stampede, no nothing.
Look at the Phantasm Illusions, at least minimizing some of the damage out of Bakaz.
Look at Panda. What a Chad.
Bakaz is going to be back in as well. No one activates the BKB. 5 seconds left until the Echo Slam. Melee Barracks, 500 health as well until the Mega Creeps. SMG, they're going to go now. MC tries to jump in to find the initiation. Bakaz down to half health, but it's not a good follow-up. It's not enough, and as a result, SMG, they knocked out their hopes of making it into phase 2, and potentially the International 12 will be cut short, as Southeast Asia will only have one representative in Talon, and Evil Geniuses will move forward.
They will indeed, and they'll do it in convincing fashion. You can see no one, he's feeling it, right? This is not how I expected his journey to go. He got given a bit of a lifeline coming through to the Southeast Asian region.